play here, 3rd and 15. The Eagles need a big chunk of yardage to keep this drive alive.
It's aggressive.
Burbage went in motion. They had 3 guys to the left. And now it's Penix taking off up the middle, and he has a lot of room to roam. Carter Penix in for the touchdown from 28 yards
It's
out.
time for the LCA Football Coach Oakley Watkins Show. Live from the home of the Eagles in Lexington, Kentucky on the OrthoLinks Sports Network. The Coach Oakley Watkins Show is presented by Justice Broadcast Network and the Kentucky Bluebird Grill and Pub. Now here's the host of the Coach Oakley Watkins Show, Jason Hunt.
All right, we are back live here at the home of the Eagles with Coach Oakley Watkins here at the Oakley Watkins Show. Well, tough one to take on Saturday, but we talk about it all the time. You either win or you learn. And what did you learn about your team on Saturday night?
Yeah, it's about as proud of a group as I can remember for a long time. I mean, for us to be down 21-0 and battling through all the injuries that we're battling right now, just says a lot about our team. I told our staff on Sunday, and I told our staff yesterday that I think one thing that we definitely took away from this group from Saturday night, was that this group was going to fight tooth and nail till the absolute end, and for us to have an opportunity to win the game. And we've learned a lot from the tape. There are some things that schematically and fundamentally, technique-wise, that we've got to continue to focus on and work on. But one thing that we definitely learned is that this group is going to fight no matter what, and then they're through adversity too. In a big game like that, we've talked about it many times, all you want to have is an opportunity to win in the fourth quarter. And regardless of how it started out, we were down 21-0 at halftime, but had an opportunity, like you said, to tie the game there in the last, just a few yards short of tying the game up. But let's talk about a little bit in the first half. Some of the stuff that you saw. The first quarter, they kind of dominated the ball possession. They had about 9 minutes in the first quarter, and they kind of just were moving the ball. But one of the things that everyone knows about, they have a big tight end, and we really held him in check through the game. So what game plan-wise and execution-wise, what did you see on defense in the first half, even though we gave up 21? Yeah, well, part of that 21, too, was we turned the football over at the end of the half, which was a big backbreaker there to close it. I mean, we had the ball at the 50-yard line. Thought we had a chance to potentially make it 14-7 going into the half with us having the ball. But I thought our defense played really, really well. I mean, we've got guys playing positions for the first time, and obviously Nash playing a lot of quarterback, took him off the field a little bit more defensively than we had originally expected to have. But we know with the tight end, Seneca Driver, he's a great player. I mean, he's an elite talent. Obviously, he's offers from nearly every school in the country for a reason. But we knew that a lot of stuff they wanted to do offensively was going to go through him. And he made some great catches that were close on the sideline, too. I think Tyler King was – I mean, all 5'7" of them made some plays.
I hope Becky has that picture of a 6'7" and Tyler. We need to get that and put that in the frame because that was an incomplete pass, regardless of how the outcome was. So that was great. So, and then things changed a little bit in halftime, and we talked earlier about what am I going to do with a coin flip? Do I defer, take the ball? So we deferred in the first half, so got the ball in the second half, and then go right down and have a scoring drive, and it really changes the momentum of the game. Talk about the second half, what you saw, and we talked about your players not giving up and fighting. But football is a game of momentum, and it's a real thing. So talk about what was happening in the second half that was really different from us from an offensive standpoint, but also just as a team standpoint.
Yeah, we were able to establish the run, and I think that speaks volumes. I actually had a conversation at halftime with Daven Hood, who ended up having, obviously, an incredible second half with 3 touchdowns, and our offensive line really got after it. We went to one of our base run plays we felt like we could have success with. We really went into the game not knowing how well we could run it in between the tackles. Their 2 defensive tackles are really, really good players. And that's something for us, though, that I really felt like we were able to get to the perimeter on some of our pin and pull stretch stuff, which was great.
What about what did you see out of special teams when we were talking about when you look at the film? What do you think about how we did in special teams?
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Dean Hester. I mean, his first punt, we had a conversation about it afterwards, and after that, I mean, I feel like hidden yardage-wise, we really won the hidden yardage in special teams, and that's a testament to his ability to just boom the ball. I mean, he had some big flip the field punts for us.
Yeah, I think we had
That's a big
4
moment.
punts and 3 of them were inside the 20, if I remember. Yeah, so that's a big deal. So not just flipping the field and having TK flip it on the other way when we're receiving, but having him put the ball inside the 20 is a game changer. And then also even I think he averaged over 50 yards on the kickoffs, which is also a big deal. You can pin them back and not give them good field. So special teams, offense and defense. So looking back from a coaching standpoint, what are you going to go forward with and learn from that game and maybe implement into building on what we built so far in the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, and I've said this before. I think the cool thing about high school football is, especially for us, is like we're never going to have one specific system offensively or defensively that fits every single team we have. And we're still learning about ourselves. I mean, that was Nash's first start. I know people talking about Arch Manning this weekend, like, oh, gosh, Arch Manning. It's like the guy played in front of 115,000 against the defending national champions. And Nash to go in with a first start and watching one of his best friends go down and having to step into that role and play in a big-time environment like that, it was really special to see him step up and lead in the way that he did. So I think just Nash getting those reps is a big part of who we're going to be moving forward. So seeing that was great. But defensively, I mean, obviously you had Aiden Lyons playing inside, which was something for him that Mac's been playing in there, and Thomas went down, and Aiden really felt like led on that side of the ball, made some big plays, and where we looked at the tape, and he's still getting better and learning the game, just as a lot of our guys are, because it is a new defensive system for our guys.
Yeah.
So that's another piece, is us just getting more and more comfortable playing the system and scheme that we are.
We alluded to a little bit with the adversity, but, man, the injuries have been hitting us this year. And so we talked about it many, many times on different formats. You have to coach the team that you have. Like, your stress that goes with that is still high. You want to have the best team available. But talk about mindset that you have going into week to week and how you we're a 2A school. We don't have 100 kids on the squad. From a coaching standpoint, how do you handle that?
Yeah, I think in our conversations, and I had this conversation to start our film session yesterday, was really just reminding our kids, like, we're reminded every day that we're not in control, and there are things that we can control, which is our attitude and our effort. And I think that's the thing right now, going through the adversity that we're going through. Like, we're going to be a more mature football team. Yeah. And I shared a Bible verse with them yesterday to start practice. It was one that came across, and it just was talking about when you face trials and tribulations and adversity, like, as long as you stay the course and you have faith, like, and you persevere, like, you're going to have some opportunities to mature. And I think that's something, like, it was so fitting for our team right now, because I do feel like in November, obviously we've got some guys that have had some season-ending injuries, but those guys still, like, today at practice, Paxton Gray was here and Carter Penix was here, and they're picking each other up.
I was just getting ready to say that. So it's very special to see from Max in a sling and Carter's on crutches and Paxton's there, but they're there supporting the team. Oftentimes, it's a depressing thing when you have an injury and you're not playing with your brothers and you're not playing the thing, but it looks like they're really bought in to kind of lift up their teammates. So it was really encouraging. There's some pictures floating around of, like, the tired and beat up squad, and we got slings and crutches, but it's really important because they were engaged the entire game. And it's important for the people that, their brothers that they're still playing, because they're just as big a part of the team as if they're out there playing, because of the effort they put in at the time. So that's really cool to see that they were engaged, and it's important to the players who are playing to play well for them too. So it's cool to see. Any final takeaways from Boyle before we introduce some players?
No, I mean, it was a game for us that, again, I think we learned a lot about ourselves, and it's a example. I told them that picture at the end of how close we were to that first down. I told our team after the game, I said, that is an image for us that we really need to own in on, because that's how close we are.
And you may be that close to hanging the state championship, so you don't want to forget about that, for sure.
So we're close, and that's the thing, is we're going to continue to own in on the details, and that's something that we've done in our 2 practices we've had this week already, and we're going to coach our tails off, and our players are going to play their butts off, and that's what
I think. As we
do.
Look through the season, we're not going to be surprised, but you're going to see that Boyle is a very good team, and they're going to be they're going to be in the mix for another state championship based on and then so I don't know why we have a winning experience and a losing experience versus Boyle, but we get to learn about our team. But the same thing happened last year. We already talked about this. We came in the second half of Boyle, and we were like, we can be good, or because we can almost the same thing. Nobody's given up. And so I think that from an outsider standpoint, I was telling you I was standing with some Boyle fans at the game, and the one thing they said is exactly the same thing you said, is these boys aren't going to give up. And so the momentum had turned. This is a big compliment to you as the coaches, but also as the players. So, all right, let's do a little introduction. First, we'll have Aiden Lyons. What can you tell us about Aiden?
Yeah, Aiden is nicknamed Scrap, and I think that's a great nickname for him because Aiden, and I'll speak to this, and I've told so many people this over the last 2 weeks. Like, Aiden's a guy that these last 2 weeks in practice, like his leadership in practice and just playing hard all the time. I mean, he's a guy that obviously started this past week for us, but if he wasn't a starter, he would have been our scout team player of the week, which says how much about his selflessness, because he's a guy that has made everybody around him better. I've actually had to kind of interject myself into some of the practices. Said, all right, we got it, because we're at a point where we're a little banged up. But he is
no friendly fire.
He's an ultimate teammate. I mean, he's about the team. He cares about what the result is for the team, and his individual accomplishments and abilities that he's been able to have these last 2 weeks have been on display. But for him, it's still always going to be about the team. If I wanted, like, he's going to play some up back for us this week on offense too, and he's a joy to coach and a blessing to this program.
Awesome. And then after that, we'll have a fellow 27 classmate, Daven Hood. What can you tell us about Daven?
Yeah, Dav, it just seems like in the biggest games when our backs are against the wall, you always know he's going to show up. I mean, Beechwood last year is a great example of that. Had 2 touchdowns and ran for over 100 yards, and then we're in a big game this week, and he's coming off an injury, and we weren't sure how much we were going to get from him, and my man has 3 touchdowns and in a big-time environment and just willed his way to it. So he's a guy that is a guy that people want to follow because, his heart and his determination and perseverance in the biggest moments. So he's another one that's just a joy to coach. And our program's in great hands. When you got 2 guys like this in a junior class, and then obviously we've had a couple others in that junior class, like, that's a special class. All these classes are special.
Yeah,
and these 2 are key parts of our program and the future of this program.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back right with Aiden Lyons. All right, we're back here, home of the Eagles, with junior Aiden Lyons. So you were filling up the stat sheet with tackles against Boyle. Tell me your initial feelings. You've seen the film now. You guys have been in practice today. What did you take from the Boyle game?
From the Boyle game, we all played hard and fought to the very end. I mean, we went down 21-0 before halftime, but we came back in the second half and made it a ball game.
Yeah, and then in the second half, when you guys are fighting, tell me what in the huddle and on the sidelines, what the attitude of your teammates were as you're fighting back.
I mean, the attitude of our teammates are like, we're fighting for each other. We're going to be there for each other for the whole way. We can hang with these people. We're just as good, if not better than them. Yeah,
and then when you go through, you play multiple sports here. You play basketball too, right? And
yes,
you
sir.
play football. When you go through the off season, this past off season, you're looking forward to this season. What were you working on the most?
In this offseason, I was working on getting bigger because, especially with basketball, you run off a lot of weight, so you got to be able to work on the weight. Especially with football, you have to be able to be big and be able to go hit somebody.
Yeah. What do you think about this room here where you can get bigger in? This is pretty good,
yeah,
right?
It's a really nice weight room.
Yeah, we're in the weight room here. And when you also came into this season, what were your individual goals? If you said, before the season starts, this is what I want to accomplish in my junior year, what would that be?
I mean, individual goals, I was overall with the team, I wanted to go win a state championship. I mean, I wanted to go help us go win a state championship.
I gotcha.
So
that's been every single player who's been on here has said the same thing, so everybody's bought into the same goal. I think Nash or TK told me 2009 is too long ago. We need to add another state championship. What do you think is important for the team to be able to do that and accomplish going forward? So now we're 2 games into a very early season. What do you think we need to do stepwise in order to be competitive at the end for a state championship?
I mean, in the bowl game, we got to let less running yards. They ran for a bunch, so we got to stop the run. And especially with Cal next week, they're a very good team, so we got to really step up next week.
Yeah, what do you know about Cal? Have you guys been watching film and know about Cal already? We play them every year, basically.
Yep.
Seems like every year they win the state championship in the 3A.
Yep.
So what do you know about them going forward? What are our goals for that game?
I mean, they're a very good running and passing team, so we'll be able to stop them on the run and pass. They're going to be going down into the field, but we're going to have to be able to stop them and make them convert some turnovers.
Gotcha. Let's step away from football a little bit and talk about LCA. You told me you've been here since kindergarten. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So that's what we call a lifer. You've been at LCA your whole life. Looking back and thinking about LCA, and if I ask you, like, what are your favorite memories of being here or something that you think is special about LCA, what would you tell somebody?
I mean, one of the special things about LCA is, like, when I was little, I would always go to football games on Friday night. I would always look up to those guys on Friday night. I mean, go up there and watch them. And even though, like, I didn't even play football at the time because I didn't start until 6th grade, but it was really special to be able to go up in football games and go watch them.
Yeah. Did you ever get to run through the tunnel?
Yeah, I ran through the tunnel.
Perfect. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks for being on, and good luck the rest of the season. We'll be watching. We're hoping that every time we look at the stat sheet, you're at the top in tackles. How's that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good seeing you.
See you too.
All right. We'll be right back with Daven Hood. All right, we are back here with junior Daven Hood. I don't even know what position to call you because we run out of space. You could be a running back. You could be a receiver. You're definitely a safety. You could be a D-back. So really the Swiss Army knife, I guess, of LCA football.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that. Like, what's your mindset coming in to know that you're just going to step into whatever roles asked for you? Where did that come from, number one? And then, how do you prepare for that?
Well, last year I came in, and my freshman year at Murray, I moved here my sophomore year, and I was at receiver. I wasn't getting much playing time, and then Coach Oakley moved me to running back, and then that ended up being big in the playoffs. I played pretty well.
Yeah.
And so, just...
That's nice and humble. You played really well.
Well, I played all right. And then just being able to Coach Oakley see how to use me is really good. And, I mean, I'll just play wherever the team needs me if we have injuries or anything. Last year I think we had some people down at corner, so I played some corner.
Yeah, and offensive, defense, which comes easier for you?
I'd say offense. On defense, it's like I feel like I'm not the aggressor sometimes. I feel like I'm taking the hits, but offense, I feel like I'm in control. I can go run somebody over, make a move, make a miss.
When you were younger coming up, what positions did you play?
Well, I started in 7th grade, and I played some quarterback. We ran triple option there, and I played safety. And then when I got into high school, I played wide receiver.
Gotcha. So you're telling me, like, if we have to, we may have a little triple option quarterback option, right?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Maybe.
Awesome. I'll ask you the same thing. What's your takeaway from Saturday in the Boyle County game?
We went down 21-0 at half, and we're all just we got in the locker room. Everyone just like, hey, just calm down. Like, we're gonna be good. We're gonna come back and fight in the next half, and we did. And Coach Oak came in, told us the same thing. He just encouraged us, lifted us up, and it was really good. And we came out and we started fighting back.
Yeah, and that was evident right out the box. And
Yes, sir.
we said already, offensive star, you're taking the cake on that. You had 3 rushing touchdowns. Obviously, when we needed those, we came right down to the end. As you start feeling momentum, you start getting the ball and putting it in the end zone. Does that give you a little more motivation? You run a little harder?
Yeah, it gives you some motivation. Obviously, you're like, you're getting hype,
Yeah.
And it's just you got to take time and thank your O-line, And our team was driving us down. I didn't give him many carries like on the way down there, but our team was helping us out.
You knew your number was going to be called when it was time.
I knew Coach Oak was going to get it to me. So
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
Bennett had a few good runs too to get us down there.
No, that's right. One of the things that's pretty evident to me being around this team is you guys really have each other's backs. Like it's a brother. Everyone says that for the most part in a football team. These are my brothers. I think it's a real thing here. There's a real thing to that, and we've been battling through injuries and people stepping up. You missed the week, and people were stepping up for you, and then you did just the same when you come back, stepping up for other people. So it's really important to see that. I'll ask you also, what were your goals coming into the season? If you started the season and said, this is what I would like to accomplish individually first, and then I'm guessing as a team you're going to say you want to have a state championship.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, the state championship's the biggest thing, most important. Individually, I was just thinking just get bigger in the offseason, get faster. That's the main goal as always, and just hoping to have a good year offensive and defensively. And, just as everyone says, state championship.
Well, the desire for that's real, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, this is what we're shooting for, because you got to put that up on your wall and shoot for it. And I think that one of the things that we learned is no matter whatever adversity we go through from injury, somebody's going to step up. It's not the next man up mentality is different at 2A football. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to change the puzzle pieces. Maybe you have to learn to play a different position like you were saying before, but we do that very well. And then go back. You've been at LCA. This is your second year at LCA. Sir. Looking back over those 2 years, what would you say is your best memory or your favorite teacher? Give me something about LCA that people don't know.
LCA, it's always good to be able to freely talk about God and your faith. And so that's probably the best part I'd say about LCA, because no one's going to judge you, because everyone loves God and they love each other.
Yeah, just the environment, and you have teachers who are encouraging that as well. Mm-hmm. So getting together in chapel is different than not being able to do that, right? Mm-hmm. Have a place where that's cool or accepted is certainly special. Any other thoughts about going forward in the season? What do you know about Cal, and what's your preparation this week look like individually?
Mm-hmm. Cal, they're really well coached. We always know that they're going to be a good team. They're going to come out strong, so you got to come out and match that energy. They got good wide receivers and running backs, and they're always going to be a rough team. So we're just trying to prep for them and get ready for the rest of the season and stay healthy.
That sounds good. Our number one goal will be to stay healthy, and then we'll let everything else handle itself. So
yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on. We'll be right back with Coach Oakley Watkins.
Looking for a place where good food, great music, and family fun come together? Come on down to Kentucky Bluebird Grill and Pub in the heart of the Summit area, Ashland, Kentucky. At Kentucky Bluebird, we're serving up classic Southern comfort food with a smile. From our mouth-watering burgers to our famous chicken and dumplings, there's something on the menu for everyone in the family. But that's not all. We're Ashland's premier live music venue, showcasing the best local artists and rising music stars. Our outdoor stage is the place to be, with toe-tapping performances under the Kentucky stars. Whether you're here for a family dinner, a night of live music, or just to soak up the Bluebird vibe, we've got you covered. Open daily with plenty of parking and a warm welcome waiting. Kentucky Bluebird Grill and Pub, where good eats meet great beats in Ashland's Summit area. Visit us today or give us a call at 606-585-0800. Also, follow us on Facebook, Kentucky Bluebird Grill and Pub.
All right, we're back. Home of the Eagles here at Lexington Christian on Reynolds Road. And talk to us, Coach, about next week, what you know about Cal. Seems like they want to win the state championship every year in 3A. And I imagine that the talent level and the coaching level is about the same that we've seen in the past. What do you know about Cal?
Yeah, they are one of the most talented teams in the state of Kentucky. Coach Cantwell does a great job there. They're 3-time defending state champions, and it's always a big game for us, and I always feel like we get better from it. And it's, again, just like our other opponents we play early in the year. We've got a ton of respect for them, and I know they're rolling right now. They just beat a good Owensboro team, and then week 1 they played Pikeville and beat a good Pikeville team. And I've seen them scrimmage Cooper and Franklin County, so they're playing top-tier programs and have really had a lot of success early on.
They don't have a lot of test. They don't look like they have a lot of chinks in their armor right now, but I'm sure you're cooking something up. We might be able to find one. When we were talking about preparation for that, and you talked about how proud you are of your team, of how things went down the second half at Boyle and how hard they fought. What are you going to be telling them this week as they're preparing for Cal? When, like we talked about from the first show, like you hit the reset button because there's more big boys on the way for this schedule. So how do you get them in the mindset to hit the reset button and move forward?
Yeah, when you play this kind of schedule, I mean, one of the things that you don't have to do as a coach is get your guys up for these games because they know, like, if you're not, like, you're gonna get beat handily. Yeah. And our kids came in Monday and they were laser focused, ready to go, and they're asking Coach, what's the game plan going to be? Like, what are we doing? What are the things that we're trying to exploit? What are the things that we got to be better at? And we had a great film session on Monday and really honed in on the details and fundamentals, and that's what practice today was just getting. That's the thing about football. Like football, there's things you can do schematically that can be considered exotic plays and do some different things X's and O's wise, but you've got to be really good at the fundamentals, and that's one of the things that watching Saturday night's tape, like we're going to own in on for Friday, is like we've got to get better in some of those fundamental areas, and that's what you're trying to do early on in the year. So that's really the two things we're talking about right now.
Yeah, and do you think, and I think what will happen too is timing, like you said, Nash entered a job that he wasn't necessarily prepared to do this. You know, you don't step in and want to be the starting quarterback, and because of what happened to Carter, he had to. So his first start. So I'm sure the timing will get better too with his teammates and TK and Sam, and once they get on that page, and you'll see growth in that area as well. You said that we need to get better in the screen game for long-term success in the season, so I'm sure that will improve too over time. And it's just cool. Every kid we've had on and talked to say the same thing. They want to win a state championship. They want to bring a state championship here. But they're not doing that. They're not just saying that. They're also, all of them, been willing to put in the work that's necessary for that. And we were just talking to Daven, and just like you said, he's like the Swiss Army knife. If you can put him wherever. And he was saying that when he left Murray, he was receiver, and then he's willing to be a running back. And then you're like, oh, we need you on defense. And so he's been willing to do that. That's really been the story of every kid that's sat here in these seats. So I think it's a testament to you guys and the coaching, but I think it's just a testament to, we were just talking to Daven about having a brotherhood. Everybody says that these are your brothers. And what do you think? Where do you think that comes from? I suspect that it's just looking at the people who came before him and doing a lot of the same things. But do you see something different than that? How each year do they have such a tight bond?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just the culture and of what we've tried to build in our program. I mean, I see it with our middle school kids and see it in our elementary programs with some of the people in that program as well. Like, I mean, you see kids. I actually sent your clip of Thomas last week to Justin Morris, Tyler Morris's dad, and I said, look, he's watching this. And I said, this is, and I think that's what you talk about, what this program is, and that togetherness piece. Like, Thomas was in 5th grade, 6th grade, and he still remembers those times of watching Tyler play, and they pay attention to what those guys are doing. Dusty Bonner talked to our team at the beginning of the summer about the poem Little Eyes, and what that means is that little eyes are always watching you. Yeah. And that's something that you see that when you're young and a 5th grader and a 6th grader. And, I mean, you talk about Jax is the same way. Like, he sees these kids and the way they act, and sees how close they are, hopefully. So, like, when you get to that point of being a high schooler in the program, like, that's the only thing you know. And I think that's the cool piece. And I think that's the same way with our staff. Like, our staff, we have spirited conversations, I mean, about things all the time. But at the end of the day, like, we all care for each other deeply and want to be there for each other. I mean, we had a spirited debate yesterday, and we're back today ready to work, loving up on each other, joking around, and building each other up. And that's the thing, like, holistically in our program. I think it's just something that we truly are trying to play for an audience of one, and that together we win mentality is, I mean, that's what we always try and focus on. Yeah.
And for whatever reason, however you get there, and we've done that through years and years of, like you said, being a program like that, but then the sum of your parts are more than when you put together. You start to look down at even somebody like Aiden stepping up into a role where Mac was going, but without much fear or much angst about doing that. So it's really cool to see him grow into that. And he's looking at the stat sheet and he's like, I want to fill this thing up. I want to be on the top of those tackles every week. So hopefully we'll see that momentum go forward. You start to get confidence by demonstrated performance. Mm-hmm. Get to be into a big show and be able to perform, and then that's going to help you going forward.
Well, and Aiden's just now, like, he's an example of somebody, like, I truly believe this. I think he's just now scratching the surface. I mean, there's still some things for him that he sees on tape and we go through and he's like, oh yeah, I see that. Like I gotta fix that. And that's something that he's playing so well. And it just tells you like he can be an extremely special one. There's so many of our guys that are like that.
The ceiling's really high for all of them. Yeah, that makes it exciting. Anything you want to leave us with going into next week? We had a great crowd at Boyle County. We suspected we might. So a great crowd. We would love to see a great crowd head down to Louisville and go to Cal. And anything you want to leave us with this week?
No, I mean, I guess the only thing I would say is that with all the adversity that we're facing right now, I think the community support and the love that our families have for each other and the love that our boys have for each other, like that's something that wholesale community here at LCA, like if we can continue to do that and pick these boys up, like that's going to be something that makes the season even more special. I told them this on Monday too, like all this for them is going to be a huge part of our story here. And I told somebody this week in an interview on Saturday night after the game, they asked like, what are you doing about these injuries? And all I said is look straight at them and said, look, it's part of our story, but I'm telling you, when it gets to when it matters for us and when we get our pieces back, and I'm even talking about our guys that are out for the year, like having Carter and Paxton here every day building their teammates up and those guys building them up, that makes us better as a whole team. And that's something this community, like we've just got to continue to have everybody on board, pulling the same direction. And I think if that happens, no matter what role you're playing, like it's going to make a huge difference for us when it matters. So that's my biggest piece, is just continue to support these kids because they're battling through some tough stuff right now, and it's pretty cool to see. But that support, it goes a long way.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see you out supporting the Eagles, and we'll be back next week, hopefully after a W at Cal.
Thank you.
All right.
You've been watching the LCA Football Coach Oakley Watkins Show here on the OrthoLinks Sports Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the OrthoLinks Sports Network YouTube channel so you never miss a show. Thank you to our sponsors, and until next week, go Eagles.